What is up, everybody? Sean Sheehan here today for Severe MMA, joined with the Irish pro MMA fighter for Severe MMA for 2020, Blaine O'Driscoll, before his fight on Thursday afternoon against Jose Shorty Torres outside in Bahrain. Blaine, how are you today? Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Good, I'm good. It's my last day now before the weigh-in, so I felt better, but we're nearly there.
Nearly there. I suppose there was a bit of shock going around the Irish MMA community the other day when this fight was announced, because obviously last time we saw you were in Bellator, and you spoke after that about like not knowing maybe the next step because Bellator don't have the division and things like that. And this came about, and like me personally, I was looking at this fight. I was like, this is a great fight, obviously a good name and everything like that, and a great step for you next. But as you say, I suppose before we get into maybe the fight itself, how did you get the call, first of all, and what were you thinking when you got the call, especially when we have a catch weight now? Obviously it's a tough weight to get down to at the best of times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like if I had had 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe I probably could have made it, because
Mm-hmm.
I was in alright shape. I was helping Brian prepare for a fight he has coming up.
Yeah.
So I was getting sparring in every week, and I was eating good and all. And yeah, so I got a call, like it was just like a Tuesday afternoon, really,
Mm-hmm.
and it was saying 57, and I was like, well, if they make it 61, yeah, definitely. Because like I knew this flyweight tournament was going on, and I would have loved to be part of it, because I think Brave promote flyweights the best, like, promotion.
Yeah.
Every other promotion doesn't really promote them, but as well as Brave do. Brave really get them out there. So I knew if I got a chance and they took 61, I was definitely going for this. Like, this is where I want to be, in that tournament.
Yeah, 100%. So is this part of the tournament, obviously, because it is a catch weight and it's not at the weight, but is it still the semi-finals? If you win this fight, will you be into the next round?
Yeah, if I win this, I'm into the semi-finals then.
Oh
And
yeah.
see, the good thing is with Bellator were great, but it was always I didn't know when I was going to be fighting again,
Mm-hmm.
because there was no kind of set path, because there's no title.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have a set path. Like, this is what I need. Now I know if I win this, I'm fighting probably in July, and then maybe again in December, November. I have a set path now. It's great. Like, it's like a kind of season for myself.
Yeah. So, like, I think that's an issue with a lot of the people in Bellator at the moment. Obviously, for maybe someone like James, who has, the fight now against Patchy Mixon, if he wins that, he's probably into either a title shot or one fight away from it. Or even Peter, when he had the Pitbull fight, obviously the injury stopped that. But I think a lot of the people fighting Bellator had that issue, and especially with you, no division, it was even worse. Do you look at
Yeah.
this as an opportunity I know you say they have the best flyweight division, but do you look at this as an opportunity to do really well in Brave and kind of get to the UFC? Or are you concentrating in Brave and you want Brave to be, say, your career over the next 4 or 5 years?
Well, to be honest, Brave are like paying me very well, so I'm happy enough for now, to stay here and see where this goes. And I mean, who knows in the future? You never know. But for now, my goal is to get this belt, and another few people in the flyweight division in Brave that I want to fight as well. So for now, it's Brave is my main objective.
Mm-hmm. I suppose, you're
Take on
saying
for Brave.
you were saying there was a lot of it was hard getting fights and stuff, and you didn't know when the next fight was coming. I suppose it was only October, your last fight. It seems like a lifetime away at this stage, the way the world is at the moment. But
Yeah.
I was talking to Ian Gary last week and another couple of people as well about preparations these days, and I think it's and maybe it's been different for you, but has it been a little bit easier over the last 6 months compared to maybe the 6 months before to get training in, just because of like the elite athlete status, and you've been able to maybe get to the gym with a smaller group? How was your training been over the last 6 months or so?
Yeah. The last 6 months have been easier, I suppose, but it's still been a bit weird. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
checkpoints around and things, and
Yeah.
some guards aren't as friendly as others with it about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still, I would much rather it being back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been good. Like, one thing about training is that there's no normally you'd have a couple of amateur guys and other people who don't compete like in. So
Yeah.
you get a couple of rest rounds if you wanted, but now it's just all pros, all elite. So there's no rest rounds. It's all hard work now at the minute. A
Yeah.
lot more eyes are on you as well, because there's less people on the mat and less people around the gym. So it is good. Like it has its goods and has its ups and downs. You know.
Mhm. I was funny. I was talking to an Irish MMA coach the other day, and they said the exact same thing that you said to me there. Like, do you feel like, say, you're in the gym and you're in, say, a John Kavanagh jiu-jitsu class or whoever it might be, and beforehand there might have been, I don't know, 50 people at it, and now there might be, the 5 or 6 pros are in the gym or whatever. So you have, maybe before you'd have 2 or 3 minutes with John in the whole class, and now you might have 15 to 20 minutes day in, day out. Is that something that has really changed for not just you, but for all the pro fighters, do you think, in this time? And maybe we've been one of the positive things during the coronavirus.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Everyone's gained a lot from that. Yeah, a lot more time, a lot, and do we have Dave there as well, and a lot more advice from him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no escape kind of. If you're doing something wrong, you're more than likely gonna get seen now.
Yeah.
And I point it out to you, other than before where you might have got away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose it was funny. I was looking up a couple of your interviews that you did with SevereMMA down through the years, and I was listening to one interview you did with Andrew McGann where you said you lived to fight. It was after one of your fights, and you were like, if I wasn't fighting, I don't know what I'd be doing, kind of job. And I was actually speaking to Andrew as well this morning. And he said you were always doing jiu-jitsu tournaments, always having amateur fights, always keeping in there. Do you think, like, that experience that you've gained down through the years and your willingness to just get in there and you love a fight has really helped you to maybe be prepared for where you are today, which is, the biggest fight of your life, but being prepared for the biggest fights of your life coming up in Brave and maybe in the UFC if down the line, as we spoke about earlier on?
Yeah, I think so, because like it's a lifestyle for me.
Mm-hmm.
I train like twice a day, 5 days a week, without fail, all the time, because it's more so because I like it, and
Yeah.
it makes me feel good instead of having to train for a fight. So that's why it makes no difference. I don't really do camps. My life is a camp, you know. But even on Christmas I train, train all the time, like, just because I love it. So it was nothing for me stepping in here on short notice. Yeah, like I might not be always close to the weight, but flyweight is a very low weight for anyone, like
Mm-hmm.
to make on a week's notice. So a bit of leeway there is okay, I think.
So who would be your best training partners? Obviously, we know a lot of the guys in SPG, whether it's James Gallagher or Brian Moore down in Wexford. But I know Brian has and James have James has been over in America obviously for a lot of the time recently, and now Brian coming up from Wexford might not be the easiest to do during the coronavirus as well. Who have been kind of your main training partners over the last while in SPG?
Yeah, no, I've been doing a lot with Brian, because Brian's getting ready for a fight as well. I've been getting a lot of sparring in with Brian, and Brad Katona,
Oh yeah.
do a lot with Brad.
Hmm.
What else have we got? Richie's a bit heavier now, but I do a lot of boxing and stuff with Richie. We train out with an Irish national coach,
Mm-hmm.
boxing together. Um, I think who else train with? Somebody will probably gone mad now that I'm after forgetting.
Yeah.
Wait, give me a break.
There's a lot of them around. It was cool. I was watching that last fight you had in October against Salah Hamasi, and watching Shorty Torres' one of his UFC fights and one of his recent fights as well. And he came out in a very similar sort of fashion, just coming out barreling forward, going forward, lots of big shots. Like, I don't often I watch two fighters and I immediately think, Jesus, this is going to be a great fight. Like when you watched his style, and obviously knowing your own style very well, was that kind of your thought as well? Like, this is going to be a fucking barn burner of a fight.
That's exactly my thought. We're both very similar. We both pressure. We both go forward. We both want to throw. So we'll see. We'll see who starts shooting first.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be him, to be honest. And I think he's going to start backing up first, and then he's going to start shooting, trying to use his wrestling, and that's just going to tire him out even more, I think. And then I think I'll get the finish late, maybe third round. But I think it's going to be a great fight. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy his style.
What do you think of him overall as a fighter? I know, in the UFC he came out and he came out with that style, but he got caught with a few shots and he got hurt early, and that seems to happen in some of his fights. But he does seem to be able to come through it and use his wrestling as well at times. Like his overall style. I know there's some, obviously you see good bits in, as you just mentioned there. Is there anything that you see that maybe you'll be able to take advantage of in the fight on Thursday evening?
Yeah, I think he's good. Like he's good overall. I think he starts very slow, and I think he tires as well. And
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't like when somebody pressures him. he likes to be the one pushing people back. When people pressure him, then he gets a bit frustrated, and Torres even a bit faster. Um, but I think, yeah, when I pressure him, that's going to tire him out, and that's going to frustrate him, and that will wear him down. And I think eventually I'll get the finish that way.
Yeah. I said your last two fights, and I suppose it was maybe the two finishes. You got one obviously with the hands, and one with the submissions. Like, is that something you've and probably got you the SevereMMA Fighter of the Year last year? Is that something you've kind of been working on to be more well rounded? Like, looking at that last fight and only went half a round or whatever it was, you came out with the hands and you got landed the big shots, and then you immediately went for the submissions as well. Like, it seems like you watching your fights, it seems like you want to finish early and always come out and want to finish early, and it doesn't really matter which way it does it. But I suppose the improvements in finishing with the hands and with submissions is going to give you a better chance to do that. Is that something you've kind of thought of coming into your most recent fights?
Yeah, well, I actually don't want to. I don't aim to finish it early.
Mm-hmm.
I always aim to go 3 rounds,
Really?
because before, a while ago,
Yeah.
I aimed to finish it in the first round, and then I ended up losing. So I learned from that, because then if I don't finish it in the first round, then I'm thinking, oh, I've already lost here,
Yeah.
So I always kind of now I aim to just go to 3 rounds, but like I'm kind of a pressure style, so my style is kind of built around always looking for the finish. So I don't need to try and force it in the first round, but I think my style kind of creates the openings anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do. I try to even out my work throughout the week. That I'm making sure I'm working on all areas, not just focusing on what I'm good at. And yeah, I think it's all like that's how I got. Some people got really good in one area fast. I kind of got good in everything really slowly, and now it's all starting to show that everything's coming together for me now.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm kind of really well rounded.
Was
so
it?
yeah,
Was
so
it?
I feel like I'm kind of hitting my peak now.
Yeah. Was it the Jake Hadley fight? That fight you thought you came out and tried
Yeah,
to?
that
Yeah.
was the one. Yeah.
But like, I
Then
think.
after the first round, I was already kind of putting myself in a bad mindset.
Mm-hmm. Jake has come on and obviously won, 2 or 3 belts since that fight, and you've done a lot of good things. Is that a fight you'd like to get in the future, maybe again against Jake? I know, like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to run that back and just be a lot more prepared and have a better mindset for it.
Mm-hmm.
As well. I kind of misjudged him. Like I thought he was a striker, but he was clearly a grappler.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of fights that I watched, a lot of his pro fights, he finished with strikes. But like he was clearly a very good grappler, so we're kind of prepared for that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But sure happens, we learn from it.
Yeah, and get it back.
It's hard at the time, but
yeah, I suppose I was talking to Graham today about you, and we were talking even on the show at the end of the year last year, and maybe you're kind of one of the guys that kind of fly under the radar a little bit in terms of, and I think maybe a few people are even surprised that you won the Pro Fighter of the Year last year, because you, as you said, you do your talking with your hands and with your feet and your grappling and everything like that. Whereas we see a lot of Irish fighters, not just SPG, but all fighters, like, do a lot of talking on Instagram or in interviews and stuff. And we haven't seen, many interviews from you or much stuff like that. Is that sort of stuff? What is your opinion on that sort of stuff in MMA? Do you try to stay away from it and just concentrate on the fighting, or is that something you'd like to kind of be more of a part of too?
yeah, like I've no problem doing them. It's just I didn't really get asked a lot, so that's why I didn't do it. But definitely, yeah, I've no problem doing them and saying, what I think. Look, I'm not going to just pretend to be someone that I'm not, but
Yeah.
I'll speak what I think, and I've no problem doing interviews and all and getting out there. And I think maybe this fight, this is the fight that I have the most eyes on. So good performance here this will blow me up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
100%, without a shadow of a doubt, I will. I appreciate your time. Last thing here, let's do it. So let's blow it up here. Give us a prediction. What do you think is going to happen this week? Obviously, a fantastic fight. It's on Thursday, 2:30 Irish time as well. So maybe people will be able to sneak out if they're working at home or whatever. And it's on BraveCF.tv and Fight TV as well, which is a great platform. I think it's only like $10 or something like that. So it's not bad at all. And there's a very good card. Mohamed Makaev is on the card as well, and some other people. Give us your prediction for the fight.
I see it being very wild the first round. Second round, I think he's going to be shooting for his life, and then I'd say I'm going to tire him out, and he's going to get a TKO finish in the third round.
Nice. I look forward to it. Blaine, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Best of luck on Thursday, and congratulations on all you've done in the last couple of years, and I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for the award this year as well.
No bother at all. No bother. And I'm telling you, if you win on Thursday, you'll be a long way toward getting it for next year as well. So
Yeah, holding on to the title.
hold on to the dial. Blaine, thanks very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.